It was too much. It was too much. But when I say I saw the mighty hand of the living God, the God that we serve, the God that we praise and worship, people should understand this. I was waiting for the report. He told me, we found out you have tumor. It's not small, it's bleeding, and you have got cancer. There was no moment in my life I felt so low than that time. I felt I was so down, so low. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I remember life was tough. I was with him. He kept on insisting that, Junior, even if I'm not around, I want you and my family to remain in Jesus Christ.
When I say God is so good, I mean what I say. When I say God is so real, I mean what I say. Here I am today. God healed me from stage 4 cancer. It was stomach cancer, stage 4. I was healed in 3 months. Let people understand that there is a mighty living God who saves, who heals, and who sets people free. Send a message, send a link to whoever you find. A friend will tell a friend, not only friends. Let it go much as possible. I'm called Nkusi Thomas, known as Yanga in Rwanda, because that name has got a background, because I was translating movies. The name Yanga actually came in when I had started translating films, movies, and it's back from 1998-99. By that time, I started translating films with my elder brother, who is called Mike. He started and he had to quit soon after. And after a few years, actually it was like 2 or 3, 2 or 1, 2 years like that, other 2 people came in. And among all, I was the young one. So the name Yanga came in just like that. So I appeared in newspapers, in the media. I remember on radios. I went in 2012 when I was like making advertisement of my films that I was about to do. But also in 2013, I had to stop the media. Now I'm back. But why am I back? Because of God. I say no, I will never keep quiet. I never stop talking. Because God has been so good to me. His goodness, I have to speak it and tell people how God is good. He's a wonderful God. I remember I felt some changes in my body, and that was in 2018. When I had some project here where we are actually. The project was going on, then that's when I started feeling like there was changes in my stomach. Then I remember in 2019, it was July. In July, that's when I felt one time I was sleeping at home, and I felt I couldn't move from the room to bathroom. Yet the bathroom was in the room. And then I did not understand, so I sent the boy who I had at home to go at the pharmacy and buy me some medicine, to explain to the pharmacist and buy me some medicine. When he went, they gave him something which is called totema. I don't know how they call it in English. So she said if he takes this one in the morning, daytime and evening, tomorrow he will be fine. The next day there was no change. It went on like that. The second day I had to go to Legacy Hospital. This time the doctor had to check everything. He did medical checkup on me. He discovered that my hemoglobin had gone very low. He said it has gone to 7. 7 actually, you can faint. And he told me you have to go tomorrow to King Faisal Hospital for blood transfusion. The first thing they had to do was to put me in the hospital saying, wait for blood. So my blood is very rare. It is A-. A-, they had to bring it in the evening. I went in the morning, they brought the blood in the evening. Then the doctor told me I have to go for endoscope. Now I understood the problem is in the stomach. The doctor, I went with my wife and our kids. They stayed behind and I went in the room with the doctor, so he had to put in that endoscope. And when he started pushing it down, it reached on this part and it was blocked. Because when it blocked, I had the nurse started shouting. You know, I'm a star, of course, in Rwanda, everyone knows. Yanga. The nurse started shouting, saying, "Oh my goodness, Yanga, this is too much. You have got," I mean, in the stomach, she couldn't figure out what was happening. You can see it in the pictures. It was too much. It was too much. You know, when I say I saw the mighty hand of the living God, the God that we serve, the God that we praise and worship, people should understand this. He didn't reach down. He had to pull it out. And then I told him, call my wife, because now he has seen that I have tumor in my stomach. And it was huge, big, from up down. So when he called my wife, the nurse had to go entertain our kids outside, and then he started to explain to us. He told me that, now this story was heartbreaking. I felt heartbroken. He told me that this tumor, if you don't go so fast, you don't have a year to live. So, we are thinking of going to India. India, it would cost Aga Khan. Also, nobody is here to be with me, my wife and my kids, and yet she's working there. Then we came up with an option of going to South Africa, because the treatment also is advanced. We went in the state called the Free State, in a city called Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein, I went to the doctor. I remember the doctor is a man called Fichard, Dr. Fichard. He's a surgeon. So he did an endoscope and biopsy, and he gave me 4 days. There they give you 4 days for the answer. I remember it was evening. Now I had gone to the hotel to sleep. My wife had to go with the kids because she was working there, home. Evening, almost night, the doctor called me. He told me, we found out you have tumor. It's not small, it's bleeding, and you have got cancer. There was no moment in my life I felt so low than that time. I felt I was so down, so low. Now, after that, I had to call my wife by phone. I remember the first words I told her. I didn't tell her that they found this and that and this. I called her, and the words I started telling her was like, I wanted to see my kids growing. I wanted to see my daughters getting married. I wanted to see my son becoming a man. Those are the words I told her. It was heartbreaking. When I reached to the oncologist, he gave me heartbreaking news. This time it was too much. He told me the cancer you have, it's not stage 1, stage 2, it's stage 4, the last stage. Those people who survive stage 4, it's very little number. I was feeling like I'm dying. That's what I was feeling. I remember one time I saw my wife, she was so cold and weak, and I told her, no, don't worry, people are born and people die. The problem is not death. The problem is, how do you die? Now as we planned for the first chemo as it was going on, I remember we tried to talk about someone who is in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is close to South Africa, who's called Emmanuel Makandiwa. We would watch on YouTube whoever we see that has gifts. Emmanuel Makandiwa said, no, we don't know South Africa itself. We don't know Zimbabwe. Now how are we going to travel there? Now I'm on chemo. I'm sick. And then we started planning, no, I have to go to Nigeria. There is a man called TB Joshua. One time I was sitting with my brother and he was telling me, you know, no, there are words that I told him that touched him during my time, during those trying times. And then I think he can tell you about this.
Yeah, I remember life was tough. I was with him, we were together, I grew up with him. And the way I knew him, depending on his faith, the kind of Christian he was, I couldn't believe the man. We used to go together in bars, booze together, talk all shit or nonsense together as, you know, non-believers, the kind of life we lived. It shocked me when we reached South Africa and he started changing. Wherever he could talk, he insisted on never giving up on God. He kept on insisting that, Junior, even if I'm not around, I want you and my family to remain in Jesus Christ.
In Job 33:14 says, "For God speaks again and again. Though people do not recognize it, he speaks in dreams, in visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they lie in their beds." I remember in the dream, the first time the dream I saw that man of God who is called TB Joshua from Nigeria. He came to me in the dream and he was trying to pray for me. As he stretched his arm straight on my stomach like this, I started shaking in the chair. And as he was praying for me, he told me, "I'm going to pray for you." As he was praying for me, he said, "Before I continue praying for you, look behind. Look behind you and see what is in your home." When I looked behind, I saw things that I cannot talk on the camera because it was all about the family, ABCD. Very strange things. Again, when I had finished the first, now the second phase, chemo, another dream came. It appeared again. This time it wasn't TB Joshua only. This time they came two in the dreams. Now, it was not only TB Joshua. It was TB Joshua and a man of God called Robert Kayanja of Uganda. They came together. This time they were sitting close. Pastor Robert Kayanja wanted to pray for me, close to TB Joshua. Now, Robert wanted to pray for me. As he was stretching his arm straight to my stomach, I said, no, I don't want you to pray for me. I want this one. Both of them disappeared. When they disappeared, I said, in the morning, I said, no, it's just a dream. So I had ended the chemotherapy phase 2. Pausing time had come in. Remember, I got those two dreams. I'm planning to come to Rwanda, go to Nigerian embassy and go for the visa, go to Nigeria for prayers. This time, I found the embassy, and at the gate, they didn't allow people to go in because it was not receiving time. I took the requirements for Nigerian visa, ABCD, I took my phone. As I went back home in the night, then there came the dreams that I have never seen before. That this time confirmed it to me that God is speaking, even though nobody told me anything. I remember it was almost morning, in early hours. This time I found myself in a room, in a main hall. The main hall was too big. And I saw myself standing on the door, close to the door. There was a military man standing there. That military man told me that, you see, these rebels, you have to pray for them. They wanted to integrate rebels into the people. Then I had to stretch my arm as rebels were very many outside. And I prayed for them. After praying for them, the soldier turned to me and looked at my face and he said, "Did you know that your prayer is powerful?" This time the dream turned into a different one. This one was powerful. I saw a woman interceding close to a house. And then I saw on the top of the house, there came a man. And he was stretching his arm down, saying, "You come up." And I saw it was Robert Kayanja. When I went up, I don't know how I flew to the top of the house. He stretched out his arm and he had to hold me hard and he said, "Take this power and exceed where we have stopped." Then immediately he disappeared. But remember, I had a problem in the stomach. This time there was peace, joy, liberty when I was talking to him. When he disappeared, this dream switched again into a different dream. So as I reached down, it was like I was preaching to the people. I said in 2-3 words, I said these words. I said, if we speak, they will know we are sons and daughters of the living God. That is in the dream. Then I turned around. As I spoke those words, I saw demons fleeing. Then again I said, if we speak, they will flee. That's in the dream. Then I saw demons are fleeing. As I speak, they were fleeing. And then I saw there were no more demons in the congregation, in the people in the church. But as I turned around, I saw the idol didn't go anywhere. I saw somebody came in the flame of fire and he stood beside me. As I stretched my arm, he touched here. Fire came out of my arm and the statue had to diminish. it diminished and it disappeared. The dreams, when they got finished, that's when I came up. And now you can imagine, from the dream, from the vision, I came out as if it's like you're coming out of the house. I found myself out of the dream and I said, was I dreaming? Was I up looking? I don't know how it was. Then I knew something supernatural has happened. So now I had exceeded 2 weeks they gave me for pause. I remember I told my wife, this time I'm not going for the 3rd chemo. Not until they do another endoscope and biopsy. Then my wife was confused. She was asking me, but why? I said, no, I believe God has touched me. I phoned him and I told him, doctor, I don't believe in surgery. I remember he pulled his chair close to the table and he looked me in the face and he told me, if you don't allow surgery and to continue chemo as prescribed, I can guarantee you will die. I didn't tell him, but I felt like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. They gave me that, how do they call it, injection for sleeping, 15 minutes. He did biopsy and the samples he took from the stomach. The 3rd day, when I came out of sleeping, I tried to pursue I was asking my wife, what did the doctor tell you? What did he find in my stomach? She told me, the doctor was, I asked, what did you find? He told me the stomach, there is still a problem, but he's rushing and he will tell us after, like the blood is still there, but he didn't explain anything. God had started visiting me a long time. God had started healing me a long time. I did not know. The 3rd day, I remember I called the nurse. I told her, it's me who came for ABCD. Can you please tell me how it is? She said, before you go for another chemo, before you meet the oncologist, please first come to see Dr. Stretcher. There is something you have to talk about. The next day, we went to see doctor. And when we reached there, he brought out the report and he brought down the reports and he told me, I took the samples all over in your stomach. For the surprise, I didn't find any cancer and there is no tumor. He said, you go talk to the oncologist. I already talked to him. See what you can do. He will tell you more. The oncologist, that's what he was saying. Then they gave me some medicine prescription of, and I left it there. I didn't even come with it. I said, no, this medicine itself may give me cancer, may cause cancer to me. So that's how God did miracles to me. I came back to Rwanda. Now can you see? Strong. Giving praises to the Lord.